I wanted to create a short video on the change to Chrome Remote Desktop. So I haven't used it in a couple years, but then I set up my server and I wanted to be able to remotely connect into it and be able to go into the desktop. Now my server is not like a typical server. I just call it a server, but it is a Windows 10 computer with a bunch of hard drives connected to it, so that way I can have different files saved across the network, mapped as network drives, allowing me to save to those in the case that, let's say there's a fire or anything in my house. I'm able to quickly grab this slim computer with all the hard drives and get out with all my information, so that way I'm not, even if I lose a computer, I don't lose everything. So Chrome has changed a bit from what I used back in the days, because back when I was using it, when I first learned about it, it was the download. You'd have it running on your menu down here, or just running it as a downloadable application. But they went away from that. I'm not sure how long ago, but when I got into it about a month ago, it was no longer available, and they came up with their browser window one. So once you sign into your account for Google, and if you have the remote desktop app set up, now it is available up in the upper right hand side of your browser window. If you have, you have to enable it generally, and then it'll pop up there. So whenever you click that, it opens up a new window and opens up your remote connection. So what I have is, I just called it server 1, and then I can go through and access it with my PIN now. So once you're on the desktop of your managed server or whatever you're using your remote desktop connection to, you do have a list of features that are really nice. So over here you have your little blue tab, and that brings out all the options that you have in order to do anything you want on this connected computer. So I generally don't go for the full screen, just because I like to be able to quickly tab out and access other things on the computer that I'm using to connect to it. So I run it just browser window size, so it is fitted to fit in the browser window. But some of the new features that I don't remember having in the old one, I could be wrong, but whatever, is uploading and downloading files from the computer, from the host computer to the remote computer, and vice versa, which is kind of a nice feature. It's a lot faster than I've experienced, or like I experienced with the old system. They even have the stats for nerds that pops up on the left hand side, and you can monitor everything that's going on with it. I generally don't bother with this because I need to see the screen. So when I went up and set up this computer for saving all my data to it, it's not a fancy computer. It's pretty much a computer I had laying around that was just a old quad core Athlon with like 8 gigs of RAM and a bunch of hard drives crammed into it. And so I do have applications on it that I can use if I need to remotely connect and use a Windows application while I'm on either my MacBook or my Mac Mini. Not that it's like required to, remotely connect to it. I could literally go into the other room and just use the mouse and keyboard that I have with it. But this is easy access, and I literally can't be bothered. So I do it this way, allowing me to use applications on my Windows computer that are not available, or that just run better on a Windows computer than a Mac computer. So that's pretty much all I got for it. I mean, when it comes down to it, it is a good application, but here's what I don't like about it. With running this newer remote connection, there's a big flaw, and that is, if you don't disconnect by either closing the browser window or going in and disconnect, like hitting the disconnect button, it will stay connected and open until you do. So in the old model, when you went through and you connected, if you were idle for a certain amount of time, it would automatically disconnect to keep, incoming connections from coming in. This does not do that. Now, I'm hoping it would come out in an update, or maybe there's just a setting that I'm not seeing that allows you to disable that or whatnot. But as of now, I haven't found it. I generally don't stay connected for very long because I do have the network drives mapped. But this is kind of a nice feature if you have an old computer laying around. Set it up as a network server. Go through, just add some hard drives to it. You can throw some like Western Digital Blacks in your computer and then just use it as a network storage server or running applications on a Windows computer or Mac computer that maybe doesn't work on the computer you use every day. And that way you have the availability to, wherever you go, connect to this computer and do the work you need to do. And then just share the files by using the built-in feature. Now, it's not fast based on my connection, but that doesn't mean that you're not going to experience a good connection and a faster upload and download speed. So that's what I got. This is a nice feature, and I just wanted to go through and give my 2 cents about it. It is still not exactly what I thought it would be when it first came out. The upgrade to the UI is a lot better, and it is a free application, so you can't complain too much. I'm just hoping that they constantly put out security patches for it so it's harder for people to intercept your connection. That's all I got, so I'll catch you in the next one.